We will wait for a couple of minutes and then we will start the session. Good morning, everyone. Let's start the session for today. I will be sharing my screen. So, yesterday and day before yesterday, we have talked about what is Oracle Fusion, what it is all about, and what would be your role as a technical consultant in Oracle Fusion. Today, we will learn about the navigation in Oracle Fusion Cloud, as this Oracle Fusion Cloud is a new ERP for you or a new product for you. So, we should be first like familiar with the navigation, and then basically uh, we can learn the other topics. Okay. So first of all, the navigation goes in the way that we have already talked about this yesterday as well, that Oracle is a SaaS product and clients request for the Oracle installation, right? Then Oracle will provide the root user, and with the help of the root user, they will provide the root user, they will provide the URL, and they will provide the root user and the password. So we'll log in with that root user and the password. So I have given the username and password, so I am logging into the instance. So as soon as you log in into the instance, whatever you see over here is your home page. So this is known as the home page that you are seeing over here. Okay. So in this home page, the layout that you are seeing over here, this layout, the color combination or whatever the options you are seeing over here is known as the newsfeed layout. Okay. This whole complete home page, whatever you are seeing over here is known as the newsfeed newsfeed layout. Okay. And if you scroll to the right, if you scroll to the right, you may see different modules over here like order management, supply chain execution, and receivables, supply chain planning, payables. So the modules you see over here, and within the modules, um, over here you see the work areas or the info tiles. So within the module over here, so if you want to navigate to, let's take an example of payables, right? So let's take the example of payables. If you want to navigate to for payables, the more options are not enabled. I will show you how to enable more options. Let's take an example of receivables. For receivables, if you want to navigate to the billing, so if you want to create an AR invoice or the credit memos or the debit memos, then how you can navigate? Either you can navigate it from the here, and you are scrolling through left and right over here, right? So this is scrolling over left and right over here. This is known as the springboard. Okay, we call it as a springboard, and within the springboard, you have this info tiles or the work areas. Okay, and within these Within these info tiles or work areas, you can click on any info tile or work area and you can do the respective task. For example, I have clicked on billing. So I am navigated to this billing page. Okay. And from here, you can click on this task ribbon. So this is known as the task ribbon that you see over here, where I am clicking just now, right now on the right hand side. This is known as the task ribbon. And from here, you can basically create the transaction. Create the transaction means you can create a debit memo, you can create a credit memo, or you can create an invoice, AR invoice. Okay. You can enter the details and you can basically create the transaction. Okay. Now, if we click on receivables and billing, right, it has taken me to a page, and this page is known as the landing page. Okay. So this, for each module, we have a different landing page. And before I talk about the landing page, I want to tell you one more thing, that if you want to navigate to any option, right? Suppose you want to navigate to receive billing work area, then you have two options. Either you can navigate it from the springboard, okay? You can move left and right, and you can navigate through the springboard by choosing the appropriate module, or you can go through the navigator. So if you click on navigator over here, then you can go to the receivables receivables and we can go to the billing. Okay, billing account. So here four options are shown over here, and same four options are shown over here. But in payables, if you go, we are not getting all the options. If you see over here in the payables, we are seeing three options over here: payable dashboard, invoices, and payments. So all the options that you have, okay, for a respective module are being shown on the navigator, for which you have the access. But in the springboard, some of the options may be missing. Like in the payables module, if you go to the info tile or the work area, we are seeing only the payments work area. But in the navigator, we are seeing two more work areas, like the payables dashboard and invoices. So how to enable these additional work areas? So in the springboard, so if you want these additional work areas in your springboard, you can click on this plus icon over here, and you can scroll down to payables. I can directly search for payables. Here it is, payables, and I can enable these two options as well, payables dashboard and invoices. Okay, and I can click on save and close. So as soon as I click on save and close, these two options are also enabled over here in the springboard. Okay, but these options are enabled in the springboard for this user only, not for every user. Okay, but in the navigator, you will see all the options. Similarly goes with other modules as well. In the receivables, you were getting all the four options, so I was not able to explain the same thing over there because we all have all the four modules enabled over here. But in the payables, we only were seeing the payments work area. So I have enabled the payables dashboard and the invoices. Similarly, you can enable other work areas uh, corresponding to different modules by using this option. Okay. So if I click on now receivables or billing, so the page that we are seeing over here is the landing page. Okay. And in this landing page, we are seeing different options. So if you scroll to the landing page, here you are seeing the incomplete transactions. And here you are getting the list of those incomplete transactions as well. Like in 0 to 10 days, none of the transactions are incomplete. But within 10 plus days, 134 transactions are incomplete. And if you want to see those 134 transactions, you can click over here. So these are the transactions that are listed, and we have a list, and these transactions are basically incomplete from the last 134 days. So it just gives the summary of the module. Like for the receivables module, for the billing module, it is just giving the summary. Then it is showing the transaction approval. Okay, if I go over here on the transaction approval, it is showing that none of the transactions or zero transactions are pending for approval. That whatever the invoice, credit memo, debit memos are created, they are already approved. So none of the transactions are waiting for approval. So if you have done any adjustment for a transaction, then it is showing if any adjustment is waiting for approval, then it is showing as that none of the adjustments are waiting for approval. Similarly goes with the adjustment research. Adjustment research is something like if the adjustments are created and if they are pending for research. So in the current period, there are no adjustments that are in status of adjustment research, but in prior periods, 4 transactions are there which are waiting for adjustment research. And what does adjustment research means? So we have got the list of those 4 transactions, and adjustment research means that they are pending for more information or for more documentation. If I click on this adjustment number, so here it is showing that please provide the backup document. So it is uh, waiting on more information or more documentation. Okay. So these transactions are waiting for adjustment research or are in the adjustment research status. Then we have something called as import transactions failures. Okay. So these import exceptions are something, suppose you are importing the transactions in Oracle Fusion through FBDI or spreadsheet loaders or ADFDI. And while importing those transactions into Oracle, there is a failure in a base load. So the process is that first you load the data into the interface tables and then the data goes to the base table. But during the base load, there is some error, okay, or some error is encountered. So it is showing that what all uh, errors are encountered during the base load, okay. So here you can see these transaction source, like people have trying to load the receivables invoices in Oracle Fusion. And it is showing the date as well, that when was it last created. Okay. And, and it is showing here the number of exceptions, like the number of exceptions are 528, 801, and similarly it is showing the number of exceptions for each transactions when people were trying to import the transactions in Oracle Fusion. Okay. You can click on these exceptions and you can download you can see what all exceptions are there. Okay. So if I click on any one of them, you can see, like if I click on this receivables import, an Excel will be downloaded to my local. So it is an ADFDI sheet. It is asking me to connect to the instance. Okay. And we will connect from the instance from here, and then we will be able to see uh, the transactions. Okay. So first we have to connect to the instance, and we are able to connect to the instance because we have the ADFDI plugin installed in our system. So we will talk about the ADFDI plugin in detail once we are into the detailed session. But from here you can see all the import exceptions that are encountered. Okay. And we have already talked about the task ribbon. So we have a task ribbon on the right hand side over here. This place is known as the task ribbon. Okay. And in the task ribbon we can see various options like create a transaction. If you want to create a invoice, debit memo or credit memo, we have already opened this screen. Now we have something called as manage transactions as well. So what is this manage transactions in the task ribbon? So if you want to search for any transactions, so here you can search for any transaction, like I can just write business unit transaction source. I can scroll down and search any transaction source, maybe receivables import. Okay. It is a mandatory field, so I'm just giving go. And transaction number I can give as it starts with 1. Okay. And let me click on search. You can search for a specific transaction as well from that screen, like, but I was not aware of any transaction number, so that's why I have done a wild search. Like transaction number starts with 1. Or you can do like this way as well, like transaction number equals this, and you can click on search. So only that transaction will be shown up over here. And you can open the transaction from here and you can see the details, or you can basically edit or modify the transaction if you want to. Okay. I will click on cancel. So I have talked about the landing page, right? So each module has a different landing page. Okay, so if I go to receivables billing, we have a different landing page. And if I go to payables and if I click on this payables dashboard, we have for some of the modules, we have a dashboard as the landing page. So if I click on dashboard, so here it is showing as the dashboard as the landing page, like it is showing more information over here, like all the invoices that are requiring my approval, or those are pending from approval from others, like that none of the transactions, none of the invoices are pending approval from the current user, from the FINA-MPL user. But these are the transactions that are pending approval from others. These are the rejected transactions. Okay. Then these invoices are placed on hold, and they may be placed on hold because of a number of reasons. So like billed quantity exceeds ordered quantity, or total of invoice distribution does not equal the invoice amount. And similarly, we have the installment on hold over here as well, which is showing as 0. Then it is PPR, that the payment process request information. So here again, it is showing us that these two payment process requests are basically requiring my attention. These are recently completed ones, these 5, and these are the recently terminated ones. So none of them are recently terminated. So you are just getting the summary of that what all transactions are pending my approval, what all payment process requests are pending my approval that require my attention or that are recently complete. So you just get a summary. Similarly, we have other options over here. So for some of the modules, you get a dashboard as the landing page, and for some of the modules, you see a different landing page. Similarly, for journals as well, if I go to journal accounting, we have a dashboard as the landing page. If I go to journal accounting, so we have a journal accounting dashboard. So here we can see a journal accounting dashboard as the page. If you like, here you can see the close status, like whether the period is opened or closed. Okay, so you can just select for the ledger, and you can see that it is showing as the September 2025 journal ledger period is open, and it is showing the subledger modules as well, whether the September period is open for the subledger modules or not. Okay. Similarly, it is showing the journal details as well, that the journals that are requiring my attention. So at the end of the day, information shown is similar to each other, but they have segregated into different sections. Okay. Account monitor and all. Okay. Any questions till now, whatever we have covered?
Deepak, one question. So, in old business suite, right, we used to switch the responsibilities. So, if we want to change the module from any dashboard or any module, right, so we have to come to the home page and do that only. There is no other option like switching from one module to direct module without coming to the home page, right?
Correct. You have to come to the home page and you have to navigate to the appropriate work area or the module. Work area.
Unless if there is any specific integration which is provided by Oracle, if we click that link, then it might. Otherwise, it will have to come to the home page. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. Correct. So you have to
Thank you.
navigate either from the springboard or through the navigator.
Mm.
Okay. Now over here on this page, we have, suppose, let's take an example. You want to navigate to the journals screen. Okay. So I will click on journals, and you are navigated to this journals screen, and then you have create journal over here if you want to create a journal. Okay, so same options are over here, like we have create journal, manage journal. Similarly, we have create invoice, manage invoices over there in the receivables. Okay, so if you click on create journal, then you will be navigated to the create journal page. But if you want to navigate it from the, if you are new to the Oracle Fusion, like you are navigating for the first time into the Oracle Fusion, and you want to navigate, you don't know about the navigation, you are not aware about the springboard, then you can search for the things over here as well. Like if I search for journals over here. Okay, Then it is showing whether you want to navigate to navigator journals. I will click over here and I can directly navigate to the journals page. So it has navigated me to the same landing page over here. Okay, for the journals. Okay, so I can show you again what I have done. So if I can go to the journals page, this is not about the journal accounting dashboard. If I go to the journals page, then we have only the journals option over here, right? We don't have multiple options over here. But if I want to navigate to the same page using that search option that is provided at the top, then I can write over here directly like the journals. Okay, and I can navigate it from here as well. And I have all the options here as well, like create journal, manage journal. So this is also an alternate way of navigating to a work area or the info type within a module. Okay.
Hey Deepak, this is Surya.
Yes.
So this is my first class. So here we are just discussing about navigation only, right? We are not into any modules, right?
Yeah, we are just, as Oracle Fusion is very new to you, so
Yeah.
we are just navigating. We are showing that how you can navigate to different modules or different work areas, and what is the navigation that you have to follow. So we are just starting from the scratch or from the basic.
Okay. We are not into any modules yet.
We are not into any modules yet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not an issue. Okay. Now moving forward, we have talked about the navigator, we have talked about the springboard, we have talked about the work area or the info tile. Now this is the home page icon. Like I have already used this option couple of times till now, but I will show you again. Like if you are in anywhere, right? If you are anywhere, like if I'm into journals screen, right? And I am into create journals as well. Okay, and I don't know how to navigate back, right? Then, and I want to go to my home screen. Then you can directly click over here on the home screen, okay? And you can click on yes. So you are navigated to the home screen from there, okay? So this is the navigation to the home screen. If you click on this icon over here, you will be navigated to the home screen from wherever you are, okay? In any module, in any work area, if you are and you want to navigate to the home screen, you want to leave that page, or you just want to come to the home screen, then you can click on this home icon over here. Okay, now the next thing that we show over here is the this star icon. Okay, so this star icon that is shown over here. So if I talk about EBS, there were many shortcuts, right? So if you want, people who are not from the EBS background can ignore it. EBS is the prior version of that we had in Oracle before Oracle Fusion. So we call it R12 or e-business suite. Okay. So in EBS, we have various shortcuts. Like if you want to submit a program, right? Submit a concurrent program, then you can go to the window and click on Alt plus V plus R plus S, and the concurrent program gets submitted. But those options are not available over here. Those shortcuts are not available over here. Instead, what they have given over here is the favorites and the recent items. So what is this favorites and the recent items? I can show you now. If you click on these favorites and recent items, so this is the recent item that we have just now opened. Like we have opened a create journal page, we have gone to journal accounting dashboard, we have gone to the payables screen, or maybe other users are also using this user, right? Maybe other participants are also using this user, who are enrolled in UnoGeeks. So they have navigated to these pages. So these are just, it is just showing as the recent items that we have opened. So you can navigate it from here as well. Like if you want to directly navigate to create journal page, then you can directly click over here and you are directly into the create journal page. So instead of you going on to the specific work area, you are using this create journal page too frequently, then you can see in the recent items as well. Okay, so instead of going from journal accounting journals and then clicking on task ribbon and then clicking on create transaction, we are now in the landing page, now clicking on task ribbon and then clicking on create journal, you can directly navigate it from here as well. Create journal. Okay. Now we have different option over here as a recent favorites. So what is this favorites? I will show you the glimpse of this. So this is related to a user only. Suppose you want to mark any page as favorite. So this is like the bookmark that you have. Like suppose when you get some URL from some client or some you want to save that URL, then you basically bookmark the URLs, right? So the URLs that you don't remember, you bookmark those URLs. So we use the bookmark functionality in like browser. If I want to bookmark any, like if I want to bookmark this one, then I will click over here and I will add it as a bookmark. Similarly, we have a favorites as well. Like these are like our bookmarks only. And if you want to save some page as our favorite, like we are using those page very frequently and we don't want to go through all the navigation, then we can mark it as favorites as well. For example, I can add a page as a favorite. So what I will do is I will go to the journals page. I will go to the create journal page and I will go over here and I will click on add to favorites. So I can give the name as create journal and I will click on save and close. Okay. Now I can navigate to home screen again. And over here you can see an option of create journal that we have just now created. Previously only these four options were showing up. Now this create journal is also showing up. So you can directly navigate to the create journal page from here. So similarly you can have various bookmarks over here, and suppose you are using a page quite frequently, then you can basically use these bookmarks to directly navigate to the page. Okay. Similarly you can mark any page as a bookmark. I've just shown a simple demo. Okay. Then we will move forward. We have this watch list. Okay. Then what is this flag icon over here? This flag icon shows that what is the watch list. So watch list is something like for this user, for this FinMPL user, these are the different modules for which he has the access, or the roles are granted for these all modules. And it is showing that how each module is performing, or basically what are the transactions that are requiring attention in each module. Like for example, in the invoices section, it is showing that 69 invoices are placed on hold, 4 invoices are rejected, and 10 invoices are pending approval from others. So if you want to navigate, if you want to see that what invoices are placed on hold or what are the transactions that are pending approval from others, then you can directly click over here. So it will directly navigate you to the page and show those transactions. So it is showing over here 4 rejected, and you can click on this rejected ones and see all the 4 transactions. Okay. Similarly, it is showing for other modules as well, like fixed asset as well, additions. Okay. Then it is showing for expenses as well, retirements as well, payment files as well, receipt remittance as well. So it is showing a lot of options over here. Okay. So after this watch list option, we have this notification section. So what is this notification section? This notification section enables you to receive notifications. So what are these notifications? Suppose, let's take an example. You have created a purchase requisition. Okay. And that purchase requisition, suppose there is a different user, FinIMPL1. Let's take an example. There is a different user, FinIMPL1. Okay. That FinIMPL1 has created a purchase requisition. Purchase requisition, I'm writing PR. Okay. When he has created a purchase requisition, so he has set up an approval rule that once the purchase requisition is created, it should go for FinIMPL for approval. Okay, it should go for FinIMPL for approval. Then if such a rule has been set up in Oracle Fusion, and those rules can be set up here from the transaction console. Okay, so that we are not going in detail about that, just I'm telling you from what is the requirement like. So those rules can be set up from the transaction console that we have talked yesterday as well. So we will know, we have just shown a glimpse of this one. We will look into detail for the transaction console later. Like if you want to set up some approval rules or notifications, then you can set up from here. So this FinIMPL one has created a purchase requisition, and if anyone creates a purchase requisition, it should go for FinIMPL for approval. Then if any transaction is coming for approval, okay, that approval will be shown up over here. Here you will get an approval for that transaction. Here no approval is being shown up because none of the transactions are waiting for approval from FinIMPL user. So none of the options are shown up over here. But if any transaction is set for approval, and if an approval is received by this FinIMPL user, then he can see these approvals over here. And here he will get two buttons like approve and reject. Okay, so he can either approve the transaction or he can reject the transaction based on his uh, requirement. Okay, so if FinIMPL one has created a transaction or created a purchase requisition, it came for approval to FinIMPL, then that approval notification would be shown up over here. Okay, here you get two types of notifications. First is the approval and the approval notification. So okay, the second type of notifications that you get over here are the information notifications. Information notifications are something like you will not get an approval notification, you will not get the approve or the reject buttons over here. Instead, you will get a notification. For example, the invoice 123 has been created. Okay, so you can get the information notification as well. So there are two types of notification: information notification and the approval notification. If someone has marked you for the approval notification, it will come over here. And if someone has marked you for the information notification, that you should be notified. Like once the transaction is created, you should be notified that this transaction has been created. So that information notification will be shown up over here. Okay. If you scroll down, this section, this notification section, and this things to finish section is same. Okay, so whatever notifications you get over here, the same notifications you will get over here as well. So here it is showing as you have no open notifications. But if you would have some notifications, then those notifications would also be shown up over here. Okay, whatever the number of notification you see over here in the notification section, like we are seeing 0 notifications over here. That's why we are seeing in things to finish section, we are seeing the 0 notification. But if this user would have received some of the notifications, then those notifications would be shown up over here as well. Okay, so this section and things to finish section is the same section. You can navigate to the same place from here as well. In the notification, you can see the notifications over here as well, and in the things to finish section as well. Okay, any questions till now before we move forward? Okay, let's move forward. So then we have something called as this settings and actions. Okay, this icon over here. So if you click on this settings and action, you get a lot of options over here. So we will see few of the options over here that we get, the options that are of our use. So if you want, if someone is asking you, okay, so which version of Oracle Fusion you are using, right? Then how will you tell him that which version of Oracle Fusion you are using? You can see it from here. So if you click on over here on the settings and action icon over here, sorry, If you click on this settings and action icon over here, so we have something called as about this application. If you click on this about this application, you can see that we are into 25C. I will explain you this from where this 25C comes. And this is the version it is showing that we are into 13. So the previous version of Oracle, we call it as R12, like release 12. Now we call Oracle Fusion as R13 or release 13. So it is showing as 13 and it is showing as 2507.0. So I will explain this all thing from where it is all coming. Okay. So what I will do is I will copy this one and I can explain you over here. So first of all, we have this 11. So it is like the main release since the journal availability, or it is based on the Fusion middleware 11G version as well. So basically, this is like if someone asks you, you can say that it is the, no one will ask you like what is this 11, okay? Or it is the release since the journal availability, or you can consider it as the Fusion middleware version as well. Now we have 13. So I have already told you this 13 comes from the release 13. Okay. So this comes from the release 13. So we call it as Oracle Fusion as well. And we are saying it as a R13 as well. Okay. Or release 13. Then we have something called as 2507. So from where it comes. So what happens is we have, if I talk about in a year, we have 4 quarters. Like, so we have quarter from January till March. Okay. March. Then we have a quarter from April till June. Okay. Then we have a quarter from July till September. And then we have a quarter from October till December. Okay. October till December. So in each of the quarter, what Oracle does is it releases the patch. So what are these patches? Okay. So these patches are like they are upgrading their functionality. They are upgrading the Oracle, they are adding the new functionality, or they are resolving the bugs or the fixes, they are resolving the bugs in the existing functionality. Suppose you have gone through some page of Oracle and you are finding that this functionality is not fine, right? Then you may raise an SR with the Oracle and then Oracle will say, okay, we will fix it in the next release. Okay. So either they will provide you a new functionality, or they will provide a fix to the existing functionality if there is a bug in the existing functionality over here. So in these patches, Oracle and Oracle provide these patches every quarter. Previously they used to provide these patches monthly, but now they are providing these patches quarterly, and we get a release notes from Oracle. Okay, so they provide us the release notes, and in those release notes, you can see, okay, what all functionality is upgraded by Oracle and what all fixes they are providing in this release. Okay, fixes means like if there are bugs to the existing functionality, they are providing the fixes to those bugs. Okay, so all those things you can see from the release notes, and for each release, we have something called as 25A, B, and C. Like for first quarter, we call it as 25A. For the second quarter, we call it as 25B. For the third quarter, we call it as 25C. And the fourth quarter, we call it as 25D. So we are currently into September month. That's why we are into 25C release. Okay. So these patches Oracle applies on a quarterly basis into your environments. And the frequency of these patches is like that. First, they apply the patch in the lower environment. So what Oracle does is, like if I talk about, let's go to the July month. So first they will apply the patch in the lower environment. Suppose your client is using three instances, three environment: development environment, UAT environment, and a UAT environment, user acceptance testing environment, and the production environment. So first they will apply the patches in the lower environment, dev environment and the UAT environment, and they will apply the patch on the first Friday of the month. Like they will apply the patch on 4th of July, like the 25C patch on the 4th of July. And then they will give like 2 weeks time for us to test, like they have provide the patch and they will first apply the patch in the lower environment and they will give a 2 weeks time and we can test whether all the functionality is working fine or not. So we can see the release notes, what all is impacted, and we can test those functionality and see whether after applying the patch, whether those functionality is working fine or not. And once that is working fine, then they will apply the patch in production on the third Friday. That like on 18th of July, they will apply the patch on the in the production. Okay. So this is the cycle that the Oracle follows for applying the patch in non-production and the production environments. Okay. That's why it is coming over here as 2507. 07 means July. For 25A, it will come as 2501. For April 25B, it will come as 2504. And similarly, July, it is coming as 2507. And same goes with 25D, it will come as 2510. Okay. Any questions over here? In whatever I have explained about this. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
So will there be any downtime while having this patch,
Normally,
or
there is
is it?
so as the patch is controlled by Oracle only, and they apply the patch on Friday, so there will be no downtime usually. Hmm. And these
What
patches,
is zero at the end?
so this zero means I am not aware of this zero, but whatever is of importance, I have told you till this 07. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
No, I mean, so we had the definition for all the other uh,
yeah,
entries. For
yeah,
zero, we did not. That's why I
yeah,
asked.
yeah. But this doesn't hold any importance. Like the important ones you remember, and the unimportant one you just forget, right? For this
Okay,
zero, I have not yet checked. I will check and come back to you. That what
that's
if this zero holds importance, but every time it shows a zero only. Maybe they have kept it for themselves, like if they are, a patch is not applied
mm,
properly or the version of the patch, right? Like if they are
mm,
applying the patch for the first time, then they are using a zero. And if they are applying the July patch for the second time, for example, their patch doesn't work properly, or maybe there is some upgrade in the patch that they are applying, they may be using one. But I
mm.
still have to cross check. I'm just anticipating it.
No, I mean, I was also thinking the same on the same lines, but
Mhm.
that's fine. I mean, you can let us know.
Yeah. Okay. Now moving forward. We have this application help. So if you want to go to the Oracle documentation page, you can click over here and go to the Oracle documentation page. It will open the Oracle documentation link. And from here, you can navigate to the Oracle documentations. Like if you want to see the documentation of financials, then you can click on financials. And then it is showing us Oracle 25C. Suppose you want to see the SOAP and the REST APIs of Oracle Fusion Financials. Then you can go to the integrate over here and you can see the REST and the SOAP APIs of Oracle Financials that are provided by Oracle. Okay, so these are the different SOAP and REST APIs that are provided by Oracle, like for banks, how to create a bank and all. Okay, so this is the Oracle documentation page, and you can use this page. Functional will use this page by navigating it to a different place, and the technical can use it to by navigating to a different page. So you can consider this as the link of the Oracle documentation page. Okay. Then we have the administration section. In the administration section, we have this edit pages option and all. So these edit pages option and all are using when we are basically, suppose on the invoices page, if we want to change the label of the field. So this will come into picture once we are into the sandbox mode, or we are modifying the label of the field, or we are making the field as a required, or if we are hiding a field, then we are using this edit pages option. Okay. Then we have something called as setup and maintenance. So this setup and maintenance is basically the functional setup manager. Okay. So this is functional setup manager. So if I talk about EBS, and people who are not from the EBS background can ignore it. So in EBS, if you want to do any setups, then you should have a super user responsibility assigned to yourself, and then you can do the setups. But in Oracle Fusion, we have a single screen to do all the setups. And the single screen that is used to do all the setups is basically called as functional setup manager or setup and maintenance. Okay, so this setup and maintenance screen is also known as the functional setup manager, and you can do any setups from here, from this screen. So if you go into this setup and maintenance, then you can choose the offering from here. Like you can switch the offering from here. Like you can switch the offering financials, and then you can do the setups over here. For example, if you want to create a ledger, right? So you can go to the journal ledger, and here we have the different option like manage primary ledger. If you want to create a ledger, suppose you want to create a business unit, then you can create a business unit from here. You can go to this task, manage business unit, and you can click on this plus icon to create a new business unit. So normally these screens will be used by the functional to do the setups and all, but you may also require these access of these screens, for example, to see some of the existing setups, or if you want to create some lookup or some value set or a number of things. So these screens are useful for them, useful for that purpose. Okay. So here it shows all the modules related to the financial module. Okay. So it is showing like the payables, receivables, expenses, customers, customer billing. So we can do the setups for each module by going over to the relevant subject area. Like if you want to do the setups for the payables, then you can do the setups for the payables over here, like manage payment terms and all. And if you want, these are some of the required tasks that like these are the mandatory setups that you should do. And if you want to see all the tasks, then you can click on the, sorry, all tasks and see all the tasks that are over here. Okay. If you want to search for any specific task, suppose you don't know the navigation from here, and if you want to search for any specific task in the functional setup manager, you can search it from here, like manage payment terms. Okay. So here it is, manage. So I can go over here to explain you this better. Okay. And if I search by this manage payment terms, if I click on search, here it is showing the option. It has directly navigated me to here. Okay. Similarly, you can search for any option within this offering from this local search. So this is known as the local search, and this one is the global search. So what's the difference between these two searches is, suppose you are into the, let's take an example, you are into the workforce deployment offering. Okay. So here we will not have the payables module. It is related to HCM, human capital management. So if I search for manage payment terms from here, you will get no results, because you have changed the offering, and within this offering you don't have payment terms option. In financials you have payment term option, but over here in this workforce deployment or this HCM, you don't have the payment terms option. So if you want to search for this manage payment term setup, okay, regardless of the offering that you are here, you can use the global search. So this is known as the global search. You can search over here and you will be navigated to the respective page, okay, related to any offering. So you can search for any setup from here. Like if you want to search for the business unit, like manage business unit, you can search for manage business unit setup. Okay. So all the tasks that are related to the business unit are listed over here, and you can choose the relevant task as per your requirement. Okay. So this screen in Oracle Fusion is to do the setups, and functional uses these screens to do any setups related to any module. Okay, so we have a single screen in Oracle Fusion to do the setups. We don't need separate super user responsibility to do the setups related to different modules. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell me.
So this setup and maintenance will be given to all users, or it will be restricted
So,
to only specific business people, or
like within the setup and maintenance, you can customize the access as well. Okay, like you can,
okay,
the setup and maintenance access is given from a role named as application implementation consultant. So that is the standard role. But if you want to restrict the access within the setup and maintenance, that can be done by customizing the seeded role. Okay.
okay,
So you may get the access of the setup and maintenance, but again, it is restricted by the security. Like your functional colleague who may be using the setup and maintenance may have more access than you because he is required to have more access. Okay.
okay,
Okay. Then we have something called as the personalization section over here. In the personalization section, if I click on this setup preferences and all, here you can, if you want to change the password for your user, right? You can change the password for your user. You can change the password for this FinaMPL user or for your user in which you are logged in. Then we have something called as language over here as well. So you can change the language, like you can see that what is the default language and the session and the display name shown over here. If you want to change the settings of the language, you can change the language from here. Then we have something called as regional over here. If you want to change the time zone, date format, time format, number format, then you can change it from here. Okay. So currently it is showing as territory as United States, and I think it is shown as the UTC timing. Whatever it is showing is as the UTC timings. Okay. So these are the different options over here in the preferences section. Now moving forward, we have this news and announcement section. So this news and announcement section is something like if clients want to publish any important news or message to its users, then they can make use of this news and announcement section. Okay. But I have not seen any client using this news and announcement section because they have other means of communication as well. But if client wants to like have some important news published to its users and all who may be using the instance, then they can use this news and announcement section. Okay. And then at the bottom of the page, you have these infolets. So don't get confused. Previously, I've told these as info tiles. These resemble in the tile shape. That's why I have told them as work areas or the info tiles. But here what we see are the infolets. So let me refresh the content. Let me go to the journal accounting infolets. So these infolets again tell you that how your module is performing. Okay. So these infolets may not be useful for you, but if I talk about some uh, journal accounting manager or maybe some higher person in the journal accounting module, these infolets may be useful for him. Okay. So it is just showing that what is the amount of the intercompany transactions. Like it is showing the how your module is performing, what are the values for different transactions that are performed within the journal ledger. Okay. Like which period is open, right? It is showing it that for journal ledger, the September period is open. Okay. Then which all subledger periods are open. Then it is showing that these all subledger periods are open. Amount of the income intercompany transactions. Okay. And it is showing other results as well, like what is the balance sheet, what is the income, debt, turnover. So here different options are being listed over here. And if you want to go to those things over from here, you can navigate as well. Like for example, if you want to go to the intercompany transaction, then you can click over here, or here is the option. Okay, so it is okay. So it is showing as threshold intercompany transactions. If I go back, okay, let's go at some other place. I will show you. Here, the clicking option it is not showing. If you click on this GL, it will navigate you to the GL page. Okay, like open subledger. Here you can basically see that which all ledgers are open and all. Okay, here you can select the ledger and see what all ledgers are open on. So it will navigate you to the detailed page from here. So here the navigation option is also enabled. Okay. Similarly, you can navigate to other places as well, like for journals pending approval. If you click over here, normally it navigates. I don't know why it is not navigating. Yeah, it is navigating. It is a bit slow. Sorry. So it is showing as journals. If I click on this one, pending approval. Incomplete transactions. Here you can see. So here you can see these are the 16 incomplete transactions that is showing up over here. So you can navigate to see those transactions as well from this screen, and these are the related to the how your module is performing. And for different modules, we have different infolets. This all depends on your access. Okay. So if I log in with some other user, then these infolets will change. If I log in with HCM user, if I have HCM access, then these infolets will change. Okay. So here we have order to cash infolets as well. If you want to see how your order to cash module is performing, then it is showing in the order to cash infolets. Okay. So we call them as infolets. Then what else we have? Now let's go to the receivables billing page only. I can show you more options. So in the receivables billing page on this landing page, you see options over here, right? So you are seeing these 134 transactions, right? And these transactions, you are getting these details: transaction number, source, class, customer, entered amount. But if you want to see more columns related to these transactions, then you can click on view columns, and you can add more columns as well. Like if you want to add ship to customer, then that column will be added over here. If you want to add more columns, then you can add more columns like PO number. You can add the PO number as well. Okay. So that column will also be added. Okay. And if you want to remove some of the columns, then you can remove those two columns as well. Like if you want to remove the PO number, then you can remove that PO number as well. Now PO number is not showing up. Okay. Then if I talk about EBS, and people who are not from EBS background can ignore it, you can focus on the Fusion stuff only. So in EBS, if I click on this about this record, first we have to select the record. Let me select this record. So we used to get 5 options: created by, creation date, last update by. These are the who columns, last update date. And we are also getting in EBS like the view from where this data is coming. Like we are getting the view details as well. But here in Oracle Fusion, you are not getting the view details. You are just getting the who columns, like the creation by creation date, last updated by, and last updated. Okay. So as a technical consultant, our works is more complicated over here, as you will not be able to identify the tables or the views in which the information is landing up from the front end screens. Okay, because here you are not getting that information. So you have to identify yourself based on your knowledge, or based on the Oracle documentation, that okay, the data for this transaction will go into which table and which table will be impacted. Okay. Then what all options we have? We can sort the data, we can basically detach it, we can reorder the columns. So here we have other options as well. Like if you want to reorder the columns in the sense, like if I want to have the customer as the first column, then I can basically drag and drop the customer field over here. So now this has become my first column. Similarly, if I want this class as the second column, then I can basically drag and drop them. Yeah, now it will come. So I can have this class as the second column. Okay, so you can reorder the columns as well based upon your requirement, the way you want to see. Okay, then you can export this data as well from here. So if you want to export this data, you can click on this option over here, export to Excel, and this complete data will be exported to Excel. Okay. So all the data is being exported to Excel in the same sequence which you have made while like customer and class we have made the first sequence, right? So you can export the data as well. You can sort the data as well. Like here you are getting the data based on the business unit. You want to sort the data based on the business unit, then you can sort in ascending order. So first you are getting the data for China business unit, then France business unit, and then for the remaining business units. Or we have transact India business unit and the healthcare business unit, but these are sorted in alphabetical order. Okay. Then you can over here you can apply the filter as well. Like if you want to apply the filter on any transaction, suppose I want to see the only one transaction, this 10242. Okay, so what you can do is you can click over here and you can click search for the transaction, or you can apply the filter on the business unit. For example, you want to see the records of China business unit only, you can click on China business unit and click on enter. So now you are getting the records of the China business unit only. Okay, so you can basically filter the data as well as per your requirement. Okay, so these all options are over here. Any questions in this section?
This search will applicable for the wildcard as well, right? I mean, if I don't know that complete business unit name, maybe something like a France, something. If I just write a France and present, it will
Okay,
it show,
so
or do we need to write the complete name?
wild card character. Okay, let's try China star, right? Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
Hmm. Or even if you don't give a star as well, I think it will work. Let me show you. If you don't give a star as well, no, it will work. Suppose you are, let's take an example. You are searching for the transaction that are starting with 10. Okay, so I will write over here 10 and press enter. So all the transactions that are starting with 10 are listed over here.
Okay.
You don't have to give the star symbol as well. Okay. Now let's go to page. Let's go to manage transactions. Okay. Now in manage transaction, if you want to search for a transaction, right, then you can directly search for the transaction. This I've already shown you. But if you want to like see more columns, right? So suppose this transaction criteria, this filter criteria doesn't solve your purpose. You want to see more columns, then you can click on advanced. Okay. Here you see lot more columns, and again this uh, criteria doesn't solve your purpose, then you can add more fields as well. Okay, like batch name. So these fields are not over here on this page, so it is showing up over here. If you want to add more fields as well, you can add more fields as well. Like currency, whatever you add will come over here. Here it is, currency. Okay, maybe it has come twice. Or whatever the fields are not there, you can add those fields over here, right? Based upon your requirement. Okay, and you can search based on upon your requirement, whatever you want to search based on the filter criteria that you want to provide. So I can show you a small customization over here that we can do. Okay, suppose uh, we want to search for the transaction related to a specific customer. Okay, and our customer name is uh, Easy Solutions. Okay, so I will write over here as Easy Solutions and I will click on search. So all the transactions related to the Easy Solutions customer are being shown up over here. Okay, so here are all the transactions that are corresponding to this customer. There are a lot of transactions. Now you got a requirement from a client that okay, whenever I comes to this page, I want to see the data for Easy Solution customer only. Okay, so now if I go to my home page, I go to my home page, and if I go to receivables billing, if I go to manage transaction, again I have to apply the filter for the Easy Solution again, and then click on search. But a client has a requirement, okay, whenever he comes to this screen, he should see Easy Solution by defaulted over here. Okay, so how you can make it as default? You can click over here Easy Solutions, and you can click on save over here. Okay, then you can give the name over here, maybe Easy Solution Search. Okay, and I will click on set as default. Set as default will basically this Easy Solution uh, will be default option whenever you come to this screen, and you will click on OK. Okay, and I will click on done. Now whenever I will come to this screen, let me go, even if I don't go to home page, I can navigate directly from here. Okay, if I click on manage transaction, now this Easy Solution is coming directly over here, and if you click on search, you will get that transaction related to the Easy Solution. So this is one thing. But now client has a different requirement. Okay, he is saying that okay, this is fine, like I will go over there again and try to explain you. Every time I have to come this page, this Easy Solution is fine, but I have to click on this search button again and again. I don't want to click on this search button as well. I want the results to be shown automatically whenever I come to this page. The results for the Easy Solution, the transaction related to the Easy Solution should come automatically. Then you can make them as you can show the transactions as well. So how you can show the transactions? You can click over here, Easy Solution Search, save. You can mark it as default, and you can click on run automatically as well. So when you click on run automatically, the transactions replace okay. Now, whenever you will come to this page, the data for the easy solution will be shown up over. Okay. So if I click on done, let me go to the home page for just for your understanding. If I go to the navigator again and manage transactions, I'm seeing the data for the easy solutions and I have not clicked on search as well. Okay. So this is the small customization that you can do, but this is specific to this user only. This is not applicable for each and every user. This is specific to FinAMPL user only. Okay. Any questions? In any questions in whatever we covered today? We will stop here today. So this I have given you an idea about of the basic navigation in Oracle Cloud. How does the navigation work in Oracle Cloud and what are the different options over there, and how you can navigate to different places. Okay, what is a functional setup manager? What is this search icon functionality? How you can navigate to a particular work area? So all those options we have covered today. Any questions in what we covered today, or any doubts from the previous session? You can ask me now.
Will we get the instance details today? I mean, to check the things what discussed today.
Sorry, you have not got the instance details, correct?
Yes.
So have you enrolled for the session?
Yeah, I did. I got the video recordings link and
In the once you have enrolled for the session, Prasad may have shared with you a email, correct?
yeah, he shared an email.
In that email, all the links are there.
Okay, I'll check it from.
There may be three links over there. One would be the recording link. Like all these are recorded sessions, so this will go into the recording folder. So in case you have missed a session for a day, then you can refer to the recordings. And in case you have any questions regarding the previous sessions as well, then you can ask me the next day. And you will get the in one of the link there would be instance access. There would be a Google sheet. In that they will give you the instance name, like our instance is ET80. There are like couple of instances or more than couple, like three instances or two instances as well, two or three instances that are working. And you will be given the username and password, like for FinIMPL user I'm using some password and all. And then the third link that would be there would be the repository in the sense like the content that I'm referring to you. Like this is the slide that I'm referring, right? I have not gone through the slide, but all these things are there in the slide which I've explained you. Okay.
Sure, sure. I'll check. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions in whatever we have covered today?
So hi, this is Ashok. I'm new to EBS and Oracle Fusion.
Okay.
So do I need any specific knowledge or knowledge for the functional side?
Uh, means we will cover all those things, like we will cover P2P cycle, O2C cycle as well. You should have a basic knowledge of SQL, structured query language. Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
SQL I do have. I'm into basically a data analyst, data side.
Yeah. So I think that's sufficient. You should know how to join two tables, how to write an
Yeah, that I know. I
using
am
the.
expertise into SQL side. It's
Okay,
not a
okay.
problem.
Then it's fine. I think you can
Okay.
cope up with the sessions, and if you get any doubt and at any place, you can ask me that at that place only. I can explain in a
Yeah.
better manner.
Sure. Thank you.
Any more questions before we wrap up the session? I will take it as a no. Just a final, final thing. Like people who have enrolled for the session, it is fine. They can go ahead, and this is not for them. People who have no people who have not enrolled for the session, just enroll for the session today. because from tomorrow, the passcode will be enabled and you will not be able to join the sessions from tomorrow. So for today's session, the passcode was not enabled. From tomorrow, the passcode will be enabled. So please enroll for the session by the end of the day today, so that you can enjoy the benefits of the training starting tomorrow. And this is for the people who have not enrolled, and people who have enrolled can ignore it. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining the session. Have a great day. We will meet again tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.